So hello and welcome back to EQI Coach's Corner. Today's section is actually the starting point for connecting a growth mindset with emotional intelligence skills. I think it's always best to define the topic, and in this case, let's talk about emotional intelligence so we have a clear understanding of these skills. So I'd like to offer a short history of emotional intelligence, and it starts with two Yale researchers who first defined the concept, Peter Salovey and John Mayer. Their research focused on the influences of emotions on decision making. Here is their 1990 definition of emotional intelligence. So Salovey and Mayer defined emotional intelligence as the ability to monitor one's own and other people's emotions, to discriminate between different emotions and label them appropriately, and to use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior. So their research suggested that individuals with high emotional intelligence are better at navigating social complexities, which is important for organizational politics. People with higher emotional intelligence often make better informed decisions since they know how to consider both emotional information as well as logical data. As a result, they often achieve higher personal and professional success. Let's take a look at the four branches of the Salovey-Mayer emotional intelligence model. It starts with perceiving emotions in yourself and others. We perceive others' feelings in their tone of voice, facial expression, and other body movements. Emotions can facilitate thinking by focusing our attention on important information, which we use for creative thinking and problem solving. Understanding emotions is our ability to interpret emotional causes and consequences and how our feelings and emotions can evolve over time. Managing emotions lets us adapt our responses to the current situations by maintaining emotional balance and creating positive social interactions. Perhaps the person most associated with emotional intelligence is Dan Goleman, the author of the 1995 book, Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Goleman went on to design his own emotional intelligence model based on Salovey and Mayer's research. You can see how it starts with emotional self-awareness, which to me is experiencing my own emotions. Through developing these skills, I can successfully learn to lead people, manage conflict, and collaborate with others. Goleman developed two assessments based on the model, the ESCI, or the Emotional and Social Competency Inventory, and the ECI, the Emotional Competence Inventory. Both of these are 360 instruments. In 1997, I was working at the New York Times as an internal HR consultant and had the opportunity to meet these two gentlemen, Dr. Reuven Bar-On, an Israeli psychologist and pioneer in the field of emotional intelligence, and Dr. Stephen Stein, a CEO of MHS, Multi Health Systems. They had just published the Emotional Quotient Inventory, or the EQI, which was the first scientifically validated assessment that measures emotional intelligence. In future sessions, I'll be discussing each one of the 15 EQI skills and how they connect with each other. I'll also be sharing some data I've collected over the past few years using the EQI. In the next two sections, we'll take a look at emotions, both their source and their impact.